Yo.
Hey, what's up, guys? Team of Mine Zandy here, and today we're going to be doing a bonus video for the weekend along with our Mario video. I just had to talk about this. First off, I want to just go ahead and say I had no clue this was happening until my buddy linked a video or some website or something into our Facebook group. And I was looking at it, and I seen that there's a new way, like a new summon, you know, like the pendulums, the XYZ synchros, all that stuff, and I was curious, so I looked into it a little bit. I'm going to be the first to tell you, I don't know everything that's going on, but I got my little notes right here that I have taken from this page, and we're just gonna get into it, because it's crazy. I mean, in all honesty, I don't know how I feel about this, but let's start off with the lighter news that actually I'm glad of. Your pendulum zones are now counting as back row, so they are in your 5. You don't get the extra 2, you have to play them in your 5. So if you set like a pendulum scale like here and here, you only get 3 spell or trap card zones. So it's not you get your 5 and you get the 3, which is so good in my opinion, because it needed nerfed. It honestly did. Metaphos, they were killing that. But that's the good news. So let's just see what we can go on into. So first off, if you see here, this is the new monster type, like the Link monster. As you can see, there's no defense, it just has a Link number. It has attack, though. It's got, obviously, the effect and everything. And it's got these markers. And the background is blue, kind of like Rituals, but it's a more diverse color. And you can see, like, the patterns in it. I don't know if that's a special rarity that's going to be coming out, or that's how all of them are going to look. But yeah, I think this is going to be pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get back out of this if I can. Give me 1 second. Alright, there we go. My button was in the way up there. So let's go ahead. Not only are we getting a new card type, we're also getting... Oh, well, thank you, Chris. We're getting a new type altogether. Cybers type. This is a dark Cybers monster. I don't know how long until this takes effect in the TCG, but I feel like it's going to be a huge game changer. They have effects like normal monsters, and they have materials like XYZ, but from what I'm gathering, the materials do not leave the field. I'm not sure. They might? I don't know. I feel like they do, but they might not. So basically, this card, Decode Talker, he's a Dark Cyber type Link effect monster. He's a Link 3, which is very important. We'll get into that in a minute. And he has 2300 attack, and he requires 2 or more effect monsters. Or you can Link summon him with a Link 1, and then like hold on. Let me look at my notes really fast. Yeah, or that meet the number, like a Link 1, or a Link 2 monster, I should say, and then 1 other effect monster. So, his effects are, this card gains 500 attack for each monster linked to it, which the Link zones are these. So, like, the Link zone will be here and here, I'm assuming, and they will have zones pointing down. And, like, let's say your monster zone's here and your monster zone's here, those 2 cards will be affected by it. So... I'm not sure on how it's gonna work, like I said, but it's gonna be absolutely insane. They have no defense, and they can't be put into defense mode. They cannot change positions. They have to be in attack mode. So there's no Book of Mooning it, no quaking it. You can't really stop it with those cards, which is broken, but I don't even have words to describe this, like, it's gonna be crazy. Alright, so let's just go ahead and talk about this a little bit more. There's 2 ways of summoning the link monster. Send materials to the grave. Okay, so they do go to the grave. Equal to the link number. So, it's a link 3. So, you would have to send link materials. 3 links equal the link number. So, 3 monsters would have to go to the grave. And you would have to link summon something from your extra deck by sending this, this is the, or you can link summon something from your extra deck by sending the same number of monsters that meet the material requirement written in the card's effect box, which is this right here, or not all that, just this. Whose total numbers are equal to the link number from the field to the graveyard. Decrease materials by using link monsters, so like using its effect. When an opponent's monster card activate or effects that targets a card you control is activated, you contribute one of your monsters linked to this card. So with the line markers that are pointing down to it, it has to be one of those. Negate the activation if you do destroy it, which makes this game so much more strategy based because you got to know what to put in those zones. Like I said, I don't know how I feel about it. Link monsters they're treated as the same number of materials as its link number. However, to use them, you must match the requirements. They, like I said, they have no defense. Pay attention to the direction of the link markers. Yeah, so right here, let's look at this. Also, so from what I've gathered, these 2 zones, it's a race to get to them. So, like, if you need your zone over here, where it's pointing here and here, you have to get there first, or your opponent can take that one and completely screw you over. Which I feel like the deck builds are going to be designated around getting a card to a certain zone. That way you can use the effect. So, like, this one, this card right here, the code, whatever his name was, decoder or whatever, affects this zone, and this zone. Which is, it's like, it doesn't affect this zone or this zone, so you can't detach him. Or you can detach him, but you can't detach a card you have here to use his effect. So that's just crazy. And right here, you can see your pin zones. Here's your deck. The pin zones, they also do not count as pendulum zones. They count as normal card zones. Or normal spell and trap card zones. So until they have a pendulum card in them, they're not pendulum zones, which I don't fully understand that either, but hey, you know, it's what we're doing here. Anyway, though, like I said, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know what's going to happen with the game, but I think it's great. I think it's going to be fun. It's a new mechanic. I was really sketched out by Synchros. I hated XYZs when they came out, completely quit the game, and when Pendulums came out, I was salty. This one I'm actually excited for because I finally learned that changes sometimes can be okay. In this case, I hope it doesn't bust. Because, like, racing to get to these zones, like, let's say your opponent takes this zone and you're completely screwed. That locks you out of your game. That could be very bad, but then again, hey, it could also be more fun because then you gotta play strategies around it. But, craziness is going down. Like I said, I don't know how long it's gonna be before the TCG gets this, or the OCG for that matter. I don't think it's in effect anywhere right now. But if it is, it's going down. Let me see over my notes really fast to make sure I'm not missing out on anything. Oh, they can only be summoned to the extra link zone, and they do stay in your extra deck. You have to summon them from the extra deck. And another thing I was questioning on. It said something along the lines of, like, you can't use your extra deck unless they're lined up with the zones or whatever. I don't know if that's right. It might be me just being a retard. But I think I seen that. And they also have no level or rank. They're just kind of there. So a lot of cards won't work with them. You can't direct attack if that's the only card they have there. You have to attack over their link monster first. So, yeah, it's going to be crazy, guys. I'll give you all more details as soon as I know them. But for now, this is what I know. This is what I know is going on. So, have a great day. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. And if you know more than I do, let me know in the comments.